We're following major breaking news over the skies of Israel. A wide-scale aerial assault is going on right now with waves and waves of drones and missiles streaming in from Iran, directly from Iran. Our team on the ground in Jerusalem has been hearing explosions. The sirens have been going off over these past several moments as U.S. and Israeli forces have reported intercepting multiple Iranian attacks. But we still do not know what the ultimate impact of this latest Iranian barrage will be, not the immediate damage inside Israel, nor the response that it might bring next from the Israeli military. Our reporters and analysts are covering all of this. We have reporters everywhere watching all of this unfold. I want to go right to our chief international correspondent, Clarissa Ward. She's joining us from Tel Aviv. Clarissa, we heard the sirens going off. We saw the rockets being intercepted by the Iron Dome over Jerusalem. What are you seeing over Tel Aviv, the largest city in Israel?
Well, we had been hearing, Wolf, a lot of jets in the sky. It is quieter now. People are bracing themselves for ongoing waves of drones and missiles and intercepts potentially going throughout the night. A lot of concern as to what this portends. People really, I think, just taking in these extraordinary images that we're seeing, particularly over Jerusalem, of those intercepts, over the Al-Aqsa Mosque itself, one of the holiest sites in Islam, and trying to grapple with what this portends for the region more broadly. We are expecting to hear from the IDF spokesperson, Rear Admiral Daniel Hagari, any moment now. Israel has closed its airspace. It has advised residents throughout the country, but particularly in several key areas. I can hear another jet now in the distance, to remain close to a shelter, to be vigilant, to stay close to their phones, to make sure that they're following updates. Schools have been closed, universities have been closed, and everyone really just bracing themselves for what comes next. Because as we have discussed previously, Iran is now declaring this a fait accompli. They have achieved what they set out to do, and it's now over. But really, until we see the scale and scope of the damage or destruction that may or may not come as a result of this unprecedented aerial assault, it is far too soon to say that this is over and done with, not by any stretch of the imagination. So certainly tensions here very high and across the region as people wait to see what these future waves could bring, Wolf.
Yeah, a lot of nervousness going on right now. So just to be precise, I take it that Ben Gurion Airport, international flights in and out of Ben Gurion Airport outside of Tel Aviv is now shut down. Is that right?
We have seen people in this hotel coming with their suitcases. They had tried to go to the airport. They were told, don't even bother going, because as long as you have cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, drones in the skies, of course, they are not going to be allowing civilian aircraft to land or take off. We also saw a lot of people in our hotel gathering in the lobby, carrying their pillows, asking where the shelter was. A lot of nervousness, as I said, hotel staff telling them that wasn't necessary at this stage. And again, just to underscore, Wolf, we haven't heard of direct impacts yet. We don't have a sense of any significant casualties yet, though there is a report of one 10-year-old girl in the Negev area who was seriously injured. And so at this stage, the intercepts do appear to be remarkably effective, but that does nothing to detract, I would argue, Wolf, from the seriousness of the moment in terms of how this could quickly now escalate into that regional conflagration that everyone had been fearing and had been hoping to try to avert.
Clarissa Ward in Tel Aviv for us. Clarissa, stay safe over there. We'll be in close touch with you. I want to go to Jerusalem right now. Nick Robertson, of course, is on the scene for us. Nick, for viewers who may just be tuning in right now, tell us what has been going on the last hour or two over the skies of Jerusalem, a city that's holy to Muslims, Christians, and Jews. What's been going on over Jerusalem?
Wolf, there were fighter jets flying in the skies and all number of red tracers of what appeared to be incoming Iranian missiles being shot down in the skies. The intercepts were coming from multiple different directions. There were perhaps we saw 30 to 40 intercepts. You could hear the detonations. You could hear detonations coming from other parts of the city. You could see at times what appeared to be missiles flying low and steady through the air and then being intercepted. It appeared that fighter jets were doing much of the intercepts that were ongoing, but there did sound like the detonations of Iron Dome type intercepts going on in the background. I'm hearing jets above, but there were some very loud detonations and of course the sound of sirens, and you could hear on the streets as well the sound of people panicking when all of this was happening. Now, there have been no indications we've had so far that despite all those intercepts above this densely populated city that has both Jewish populations, Arab populations here as well, that there were no casualties that we're aware of so far. Of course, the IDF spokesman will be bringing an update on that. But I think one thing that I'm reflecting on now, Wolf, of course, we've all been here. We've spoken over the many months now since Hamas's horrendous and horrific October the 7th attacks, and how shocked Israelis are and how traumatized many of them still are, that their security could be so impacted, and the security dynamic that they felt and the security pact with the government that they felt they had, that people in Israel would be safe from attack from outside. Hamas blew that apart on October 7th, but Iran is doing that again tonight. It is another level of attack, taking perhaps that precariousness, that concern that Israelis have about an outside power being able to bring death and destruction to them. That is going to reach another level tonight, it seems. Again, we've talked about the crossing of a Rubicon. We've talked about the dynamic of Iran now targeting directly into Israel. But when you think about that in human terms, about the way people living here are going to feel about this new level of threat and how they already were impacted by Hamas on October 7th, I have to reflect that this is, of course, now going to be part of what weighs on the mind of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu when he considers his next move and how to respond to Iran, Wolf.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be some sort of Israeli response. It's unclear what that will be. But this situation could clearly escalate dramatically in the coming hours. There's no doubt about that. Nick, stand by. Be safe over there in Jerusalem. I hate to have to say be safe in Jerusalem, but we see what's going on in Jerusalem right now.